What's going on, everybody? Here we are. It's another week at the Home Theater Hobbyist, and this week we have our full review of the KLH Ames bookshelf speakers. So let's get to it. First of all, if you are new to the channel, welcome. On this channel, you'll find things like product reviews like these, unboxings, comparisons, talk about streaming media, and basically all things home theater. So click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime we upload new content. So here they are, the KLH Ames. Now, some of you are familiar with KLH. They started selling audio equipment back in the late 50s and 60s, and they sold it until they were discontinued in around 1989. Well, in 2017, David Kelly of Klipsch fame, a longtime Klipsch executive, purchased the brand and started producing speakers. And this is a line of their bookshelf speakers, the Ames. So we got these speakers from Worldwide Stereo. They are a home theater retailer in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. If you're in the area, if you're in the region, go check them out. They have 2 retail locations. If you can't check them out, click that link in the description below to find out more about the products. Now let's move on. Let's talk about the specs for these speakers. The Ames bookshelf speakers have a frequency response from 60 Hz to 23,000 Hz. It has a sensitivity of 87.5 dB and an impedance of 8 ohms. They stand at 7.5 inches tall by 4 3/4 inch wide by 6 inches deep, and they weigh 5 pounds. They have a 1-inch anodized aluminum tweeter and a 4-inch woven Kevlar woofer. Moving on to design, as you can see, I have the cloth grille on the front of these speakers. You have the KLH logo down there at the bottom, and they detach really easily because they are held on by magnets. Along the back, you've got a plastic support structure along with the 4 magnets on the grille. Now, when I put this down, you can actually see the front of the speaker. You've got the 1-inch tweeter right there, and you've got that 4-inch Kevlar woofer down there. And I really like the way these look with the black and the aluminum, anodized aluminum surface finish. Gives it nice contrast. KLH does sell these in white, and just from the pictures I've seen online on the KLH website, I really think the white looks sharp. I mean, if I had to choose, I'd probably go with white on these speakers just because I think it looks so good. Moving on to the rear, at the top you have your sticker that has the serial number along with the KLH branding. And just below that, you have a screw so these can be mounted to a set of speaker stands. Since they only weigh 5 pounds, they're actually pretty easy to mount to stands. You should be able to find some relatively easy. Just below that, you have the speaker connection. Now, these do accept standard speaker connections like your banana plugs or spades, and they also accept the pin type speaker wire connections. Now, as you can see from the side, the surface finish is pretty nice. It's nice and smooth. It's fairly matte. It's not gloss black, so you don't have to worry about getting a whole lot of fingerprints on them, but you will have to clean them up every now and again. Now, along the bottom, you can see it is just as smooth as the rest of the speaker, but KLH does ship these little feet that you can attach. They have tape on the back that you can attach to the bottom if you want to. Now, the benefits of feet include the fact that you can decouple your speaker from the surface on which it's sitting, so you don't get the vibrations and you don't have to worry about scratching your speaker or scratching your table that it's sitting on. So if you have that issue or if you're concerned about it, I would definitely attach these rubber feet. Now, one thing I will mention is KLH calls the Ames a set of bookshelf speakers. Now, in size, they're really more I would consider them to be satellites. I have here a pair of Energy Take Classic 5.1 satellite speakers, and Energy actually calls these satellite speakers. And as you can see, the KLH is pretty close in height. It's a little bit deeper and it's a little bit wider, but they're really close. So these, to me, are a little bit more closer to the satellite range than the bookshelf range of speakers. Now let's move on. Let's listen to a couple of sound samples so you can hear how these speakers sound. Hopefully you enjoyed these sound samples. Now I'm going to rank these speakers from 1 to 5, 1 being the absolute worst and 5 being the absolute best. The first category I'm going to start with is design. From a design standpoint, I give these a 4 out of 5. I really like the way they look. I mean, they've got a nice matte surface finish. They're not gloss black, so they don't attract fingerprints as badly as gloss black would, but you will have to clean them. You have a nice contrast between the anodized aluminum and the surface or the black speaker. I think that looks really good. The grill is attached by magnets, so you don't have holes in it, so it keeps it a little bit cleaner. I like that as well. And I like on the back that they have these screws so they can be mounted to speaker stands. So that's just a nice functional feature. And also you get feet if you need them. So I think KLH did a great job with the design. Now me personally, like I said, I wish these were white because I think the white would just look great, but I think the black, they did a really good job with the black. So I give these a 4 out of 5. From a sound quality standpoint, I give the Ames a 3.5 out of 5. They have a nice, bright, lively sound that I actually enjoy. I watch movies and listen to music, and I actually enjoy that bright sound. But one thing I will say, and it's pretty much true for any speaker in this size class, is you do need a subwoofer because these do not get down low. When watching movies or listening to music, you definitely need more bass than these can give you. Now, with that bright sound, one thing I will say is if you're listening to a lot of jazz that can sometimes have a little bit of warmth to the sound, these don't produce that very well, because I did listen to a little bit of jazz music on them and I didn't hear that warmth out of those same recordings that I have. So you will need a different pair of speakers, I would say, if you're looking for a little bit of warmth. But if you like a bright, lively sound, these are actually pretty good. Moving on to value, I give the Ames a 3 out of 5. And I actually struggled with this score for a little bit because initially I was thinking I'd probably give it like a 2.5, but I decided to go ahead and give it a 3 because these do have excellent build quality. They are, a bit more expensive than some other speakers in their class, but you do get a nice build quality. You get that Kevlar woofer, you get a nice large tweeter, you get some decent sized woofers. So they do sound good, but you will pay a little bit more for them. And as with all speakers in this class, you will need to either have a subwoofer or purchase one to go with these speakers. So do I recommend these speakers? I do for those people that like a bright sound, they're looking for smaller speakers and have a subwoofer to pair with them. I think they work really well. I'm using my Energy Take Classics as my Atmos speakers here, so they do have uses and you can use them. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit bigger, more bookshelf class size, I'd look at those Quincy's, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can take a look at it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please use those links in the description below as they support the channel. We'll talk to you next time.